What is up, everyone? Welcome back to the channel. We're back in the car. I really need a new microphone. This one is phasing out. But anyways, welcome to the channel. I hope you're having a great day. In this video, I actually wanted to talk about, I wanted to tell you a little story about the other day, and then also I want to talk about why do I love business and self-development so much? And that will be more interesting than it sounds. So stay tuned, okay? So, to start off with this story, the other day, 2 days ago, I went on a run. I decided to go out for a 2-mile run because I'm actually planning to run a half marathon this summer. I'm signed up and ready to go. Let me take a sip of my coffee really quick. So I go out for my 2-mile run to a local park, and on the first lap I did in shoes, and I was like, okay, cool. But then at the end I was like, these shoes are very uncomfortable. I'm just going to go barefoot. So I took off my shoes. I did a second lap. Let me think. Yes, I did a second lap, and on that second lap I passed a guy in a gray hoodie. He passed me, and he stuck out his hand and waved to me with a smile on his face. I was like, hey, that's a pretty nice guy. And I was kind of debating doing more than 2 miles that day anyways, but he passed me, and I was like, oh. So I was like, you know what, I'm gonna do one more. So I did 3 miles so I was planning on doing 3 miles then. So on the third lap I ran around, and we met at a little further point. Like he was running a little faster than me. So we met closer to, I don't know how to describe that. I figured out that he was running faster than me. So I don't know what's wrong with me, but I'm just so competitive. Then I was like, I'm going to run 4. So I did 4 miles. And on this 4th lap, because they're 1-mile loops, I did 4 miles. On the 4th lap, I was like, I got to pick up speed, and I can't let him run faster than me. So on the 4th lap, I started catching up, and we kind of pushed back. And I was not back to the original place we saw each other, but wow, I'm not really good at describing things. So we were both running opposite directions, and we would pass each other, and he was getting closer to me. So you knew I was running slower. So then the 3rd lap happened, and then the 4th lap, and we weren't back to the original position where we first met on the first lap, but you could tell that I was picking up speed. So then I decided to run more. I was like, rounded off with a good 5-miler. So I did 5 miles. And it was about that one. I wasn't too worried about it. I was like, whatever. And then at the end, it was my last lap. I was like, I'm going to go talk to this guy. So as we passed each other the last time, I was like, hey. Then he walked over. I was like, thanks for pushing me today, or something like that. And I was like, I set out to run 2 miles today, and I actually ran 5 miles because you unknowingly pushed me to do that. And he was like, yeah. And then we actually talked for like a couple minutes. It was pretty cool. I learned a little bit about him and why he was running and stuff like that. But I think that was just a really interesting thing, and it got me thinking, because if I look back on myself, there's no way I would have ever done that in my past. And that leads me into the conversation of why I like business and self-development so much. Another example of this is that I found I've been using my journal that I use. So basically, I use a notebook, and I write everything down. I work best when I write everything out. But in those first pages of the notebook, you can see that I wrote stuff back in high school and back in like my freshman and sophomore year of college. And it's just so interesting to see where my mind was at then. I was in college or whatever, and I was like, I want to travel so many times this year. I want to buy a camper van and live out of that. And now Now I'm got my own apartment. I didn't do any of that stuff. I have my own lawn care business, which I'm super excited about. And it's so interesting. And that's kind of why I like this YouTube channel, because I can document where I'm at. And really, this YouTube channel is just a story of my life. Like, I'm trying to grow a business. I'm only 25. I don't really know what I'm doing, but I'm trying things. And then in the future, I'll be able to look back and I'll be able to see how far I've come. Just like me looking back at my notebook, I'll be able to see how much things have changed and how my ideas changed and everything. So, regarding the business, though, I like it so much because it's pushed me to do uncomfortable things. Like, when I was younger, I was so shy as a kid, and there's no way I would talk to some random person. But the other day, I go out and talk to this guy I pass on the running path like 3 times. Like, I would have never done that. And I think that's why I love both of them, because you could see how far you've come and developed as a human being, and it pushes you to do uncomfortable things. For instance, last year I did door hangers, and it was so uncomfortable for me. The amount of times I've rolled up to a neighborhood and just like drove around and then went home because I was so nervous. I didn't want to go up to the doors. And I did door hangers. I didn't even knock on the doors. I would just place them on the doors and walk away. Compared to this year, where I'm actually kind of excited to do door hangers. And I don't even do door hangers now. I hand out flyers. I ring on the doorbell, wait for people, see if they answer, and then talk to them, because it's just like, I don't know. It's super cool to see myself develop as a person and do things that were so uncomfortable for me the year before. So that's a little bit about me. So that's basically, that wraps up what I was going to talk about. Why I like business and self-development is because you can see the change over time. Even just a year difference is insane. And it's been a really cool journey. But another thing I wanted to mention that I spoke about in the last video that I recorded, which was, but I didn't articulate it very well. So here we go. In the last video, I talked about my crypto portfolio and how I put $10,000 in there, and I couldn't imagine a number that would actually like change my life. I thought about it a little bit last night, and I was like, okay, if I got like $1 million, that'd probably change my life a little bit. But I would think I was saying that because it's not too much about the money for me. Like, I got in it for the money, and obviously I need a job to survive. But over the last year, I've just grown to absolutely love my lawn care business and love trying to figure out how to do things. You know, like, there's so much to it, and I just see it as a game now. Like, I use money as like a metric to see how good I'm doing, and it's like something cool to push myself towards. Like, last year I did 15,000, and obviously I want to push myself to do like double or triple that, because it'll help me grow the business. So it's fun to look at money as like a metric to how well you're doing, or like one metric of how well you're doing, because obviously that doesn't include everything. But I've realized that business has become more about a game for me, and I just really enjoy being in the game and struggling to find out how to make things work. And I think that's why I don't see how money could really impact me too much, because as long as I have my daily expenses met, like my grocery bill, gas bill, stuff like that, as long as those are met, dude, I'm having a great time out here. And I don't think a whole lot of money would really change much, because I'm going to be working the rest of my life anyways. I mean, I'm not going to retire. Maybe I could buy a cool thing, but when I go through my mind, it's like I don't want to buy something. I just want to put it towards my business because it's fun. It's cool. It's literally a game where you get to push yourself to do things like door hangers that I would never think to do. And then you got to figure out, it's just, I don't know how to explain it, but I don't see my crypto portfolio really affecting me even if I make money. And that was just something that was on my mind. I'm not trying to like, I don't know. That's just a little bit about what I was thinking. And I wanted to clarify that because I really didn't talk about it I didn't articulate it very well in the last video. And that's pretty much a theme here on this channel, is that I'm working on my articulation and trying to talk things out better. So that's a little bit about me. So 2 days ago I ran 5 miles. Yesterday I actually had a couple jobs, or I had one job where I took out like 6 taxus bushes, and that was very draining. So was the 5 miles. I mean, I haven't run in like, it's been a couple weeks, and then before that it's been like a couple months. So I was drained from the 5 miles, and then I took these bushes out. I had to deroot them by hand, and dude, I woke up this morning absolutely drained, like so drained. I decided to go to the gym because I was like, I can't use this as an excuse to not go to the gym because I'll feel bad. Like I'll kick myself later in the day. I know that about myself, that if I didn't go to the gym and I slept in, I'd kick myself later in the day, be like, dude, come on. So I did decide to go to the gym. I did very light work today because I mean, it feels like I got hit by a car, dude. I am just like absolutely drained. Yesterday was a great starter for the week, for the year, the season, just to get my butt in shape and push myself a little bit. But that's a little bit about what I wanted to talk about today. I have a lot of things I do want to talk about here in the future, but we'll get around to that when we get there. So I hope you enjoyed. Let me know in the comments what you guys are thinking. That's not a good call to action. Leave me a like below if you would. That'd be awesome. I'd really appreciate that. Just smash the like button if you enjoyed, and I'll see you all in the next video. Ugh.